Hello. Yeah. Once you are ready, everything will be okay in LinkedIn and somewhere else.
Yes, we'll start in 2 minutes.
Everything will be started in 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's why I
Okay.
logged in early today so that you have time. Yeah,
Ah.
that's why I logged in early enough so that you have enough time.
Okay. Good. Thank you.
So
Mhm.
whenever you're ready, you can start.
Uh, Give me the 2 minutes. Let me prepare everything.
Okay.
I will reconnect in a few minutes. Oops. Hello.
Hi, Gonchik.
Hi. Are you hearing me well?
Yes.
Great. I see that some people with laptops, some people without. Before starting,
Yes.
uh, I will. I'm ready to start.
That's okay. So please give a lot of applause for Gonchik.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Gonchik. The floor is all yours. I'll just mute, and then in case there's any question, I'll mute and maybe interrupt you.
Yes, I have some questions before starting. If you have some questions, you can drop me the message here.
Yeah, I cannot be able to type because the laptop is a bit far away from me, and
Okay,
also facing
I
the.
have another idea. Let's collect the questions, and next time I will answer the questions and second things. As I understood, we have the 1 hour.
We have 2 hours.
Oops, focus on the 1 hour and focusing on the next step. It will be much more easier because I expected for 1 hour. Is it okay?
Yeah, so I actually gave you 2 hours because last time it looks like 2 hours was a bit tight. Yeah, but if you're prepared for 1 hour, that's also fine.
Okay, good. Uh, why I'm just saying, because right now I see the people, someone with the laptop, someone without laptops. I would like to see that some people are growing. It means better to split it into two sessions or something like that. So let me start. My name is Gonchik. If you remember, I hope you remember about me. The As I understood, Michael said expectation was everyone wants to work with the Jira Data Center. Everyone wants to understand how does it works. And today, let's focus on that. I will show everything step by step. Let me share my screen. I will share the as a screen. Uh, Maybe like this, you can see me. So everything will be in the browser, the Brave. I will use the Brave. That's an additional browser. It will be much more better. I especially opened the ChatGPT, which is connected to DeepSeek and ChatGPT and also Perplexity and also Gemini. Why I'm just saying? Because nowadays I prefer to everything to doing together with Chat GPT things, LLM. Therefore, firstly, let's start from the prompt. You are my engineer and advisor for Atlassian Data Center setup on Docker. This is the prompt. Yes, and everything is preparing, blah, 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 licensing, everything. Why I'm just prefer to do it? Because it's easy to understand. Docker knowledge, I will a bit inform about that. Docker environment and database. For database, we will focus on the PostgreSQL. And firstly, we will use it embedded. And then I will provide the links and how to use the Docker for Postgres. It's quite easy. And also how to upgrade it, because usually upgrade is going to be the specific. And of course, for the file system, we will use it as an NFS or mounted system, not AWS EFS. And the images, we will use the official. And let's start from easiest one, Docker. It is the orchestration of the C groups. It's correctly the long time ago it was the C groups. It means you can isolate and run the software with the minimal of the dependencies, and of course the main idea of the isolation and emulation of the all operation system, almost all operation system. So I have the Telegram Docker, but before starting, well, firstly, I prefer to start everything from scratch. What you need to do, go to Google, Docker desktop, because you're trying to on your laptop. I highly recommend to sign in, and you can use it. And also regarding the choose the plan, of course, personal 0, because it's not pro, and 0, you need to have the Docker engine, and if you needed the Kubernetes, but it's not needed for now, only the desktop and engine, it's fair enough. And we have the images, we can do it everything. For Docker desktop, I will use that one. Sign in. It's mine account. I installed, and you can download a launch. For example, in my situation is a launch, and we have the Docker desktop. So running. Let me remove all things I have prepared. So sign here. It is a lot of redirection, everything, but you can see, go and check some of atlassiancommunity.com. I am signed as a user. You can see everything. And 1 year ago, I just registered as a community account. So I have the Jira software, but now I put. You can find by here the hub repositories. Here you can find the own hub, and also you can create everything. So what is with the image? It's a minimal, everything based on the layer, and it's a prepared software, minimal software, let's say. Volumes, your persistency. It is usually in our situation for Jira, for Confluence, for Bamboo, Bitbucket, it is home directory, because most of the configuration, configuration as well in shared home located or home directory, which is usually the inherited for shared. It is very good. What we can do, we need to firstly create one volume. Atlassian home. Let me create. For now, this is my volume data. Next step, I need to find the image, because based on image, we can run as a container. Let me remove to be more clear everything. Search images for run. Here we can try to find Jira. Once we start to search, you can find a lot of the images. And you can see one of the top of the things is Jenkins CI infrastructure, Wool Hub, I don't know what's this hack, and software plant. It is if you go to view hub, we can click, you can find, it is the automated software plant company. And for example, you are interested who is with the software plant. I remember, Big Picture. Big Picture provided also own images for easy to testing, providing everything, but nothing special. What we need to go, once we don't find it, we need to go to hub docker.com open the hub.docker.com, and then try to find the Atlassian, because we want to find the official things. So by Atlassian, once I click to Atlassian, you can find the user Atlassian, verified publisher, Atlassian.com. So now we found all official images. Let's deep and dive what they have, because before starting, we need to more sure what do they have. Firstly, they have the Docker release maker. Docker release maker is generating the Docker Hub, Hub Docker, uploading Hub Docker.com to all needful images. Decap, interesting. What is this? Decapped. They didn't provide information, but use it. Bamboo, Atlassian Bamboo is a CI/CD mostly the continuous delivery the tool, Confluence, knowledge management. Bamboo agent base, which is the used for as an agent for many systems. It's a Java agent for running as a CI. Forge tunnel, Forge tunnel, the most used. It is the tunnel for cloud apps. Bamboo spec runners. Bamboo provided the spec generation, and then it is the runner which is generating. Crucible. So it is the for code review tool, fisheye, code review and search monitoring, everything. It's mostly the together Crucible and fisheye used, and Bitbucket is as a GitHub is a system control version systems. Jira Service Management. I hope you know about that. It is the interesting stuff. Jira Service Management, Service Desk before is the naming for ITSM stuff. Jira Core is a only core product. We can install all of them and understand. So, for example, I'm interested for now Jira Service Management. I found here Docker pull service management. Copy it. I copied here the Docker pull command. I can do like this. I found this one. And now I can choose one of the version. So I see 5.14 is a quite latest. Let's go to Jira Service Management Release Notes. We just open the Jira Service Management release notes to understanding what kind of releases we needed. We can find 10.4 is the latest version. In reality, 5.14, they provide 5.15, but mostly we need to the latest version 10.4. Let's scroll it. I don't find it. Okay, we can go here, text, open the hub.docker.com again and go there. And we needed 10 point, let me do 10.3, for example, or 4 found. So go, we need a 10.4. Let me open the version. Customizing, blah, blah, blah. 10.40. It's in January 22, it was released. Hope. Now we found. So now we found with based on the UB9 and JDK 11, or we can UB9 just UBN, and based on the Ubuntu, based on in general. Okay, let me try to find one Ubuntu, for example. I want to this one. go images. Now I can open the terminal. Let me make it a bit bigger. I copied all code from where? Copy, Docker pull. I highly recommend the click go. I skipped the click go for Docker desktop because you just installed next. You will install it. And meanwhile, I just started from the setup. What I did it, I just dropped the command docker pull Atlassian Jira Service Management. Give me tag 10.40 Ubuntu JDK 17. JDK 17, it means Java Development Kit 17. It's the latest one, latest supported one. For example, you can all add that information. You can find support platform, Jira Service Management. And for example, Jira applications. And it's shown everything. Therefore, recommending Atlassian recommend JDK 17, and we will install with 17. And operation systems okay for us. Browsers are our latest greatest. Brave we use it, and also they recommend to use the Postgres 15 instead of the 14, 13, and 12 because under warning that's not guarantee. Recommending to upgrade Postgres. Also, secret manager, HashiCorp Vault. Then we can use it HashiCorp Vault if it's needed. If in the company you have all of that information, because for the setup Docker Compose file or Docker file, you can put all needful configuration, which will be injected from data from the HashiCorp Vault. So for containerization, they recommend official images. If you click here, you can find a hub docker comp user Atlassian, which was we started investigation. Also, Jira in Docker container or customize a Docker deployment on your own. We support the Atlassian Docker template and can help with Jira related problems. We don't provide support Docker itself or problems with any Docker environment. Containerization manager. Atlassian provide official Helm chart. Helm chart is usually the, let's say, prepared configuration or orchestration, let's say, templates for Kubernetes. So for Kubernetes usually, but here you can provide Amazon EKS, Azure Kubernetes, Google Kubernetes. It's shown how it works, architecture, load balancers, shared database, shared file system, open search, and how the image Kubernetes area it works, providing configuration, everything. So for hardware, I'm using the MacBook Air for now, and it's good enough to go forward, but usually please be aware that you need to think about the hardware and especially the NFS, because otherwise index writers need to have the fast opportunity. Also, they provide x86, 64, or this solution. Virtualization, application level, support, and LDAP and our stuff. Okay. We run. Just to be more clear, I'm using Darwin kernel, M1 ARM64. It's not supported there, but we will go with that. And after that, I will show how to find or how to adjust existing image to running for ARM64. But I prefer everything to start step by step. By command uname A, -e. I'm just checking all kernel information, what's going on, everything. We have the image. We need to go. We need to open Docker desktop. Now we have here image. For example, in the image, we can see 1 GB. It is including the all parameters. How does it works? What exactly they put? What kind of environment variables, maintainers, GUID, providing the version, architecture, artifact, and download URL. How to they are copying the binary file, and we can see. If we click, you can see in reality every time it's downloading product downloads .atlassian.com software downloads service desk. For example, if we copy this one, I use the command vjet -c. If continue, we can see in reality it's downloading tar.gz, the image, the software. I just removed, just showing the validation. Why I'm just showing? Because it's quite easy and bad for you. Volume, they have the volume. var Atlassian application data Jira. It's a home directory, better to pointing to our persistent volume. Just volume. So in reality, we are ready almost to run. We need to use the parameters. For example, if we want Jira, let me name the GSM. Host port, I think 8080 I will use it. Volume, host path. I just open here. Let me go to Gunchik. Let me open the temp. Let me create here one of the. For example, migration. GSM. var application data. So remember, like this. Once we Google it, Atlassian application data, we can find. What we need to do, we need to find the Jira application home direct, then Jira. This is the mounting. In the container path, we're mounting host path will be GSM. I'm opening the, let me clear. And make directory --p. It will be, will create all directory. I just opened. And what else? If we want to, we can add the variables if it's needed. But for now, it's good enough. Now we click run. Now we can see what's going on. Running. Application. We can see the Jira. By the way, let me ask, everything is okay? Are you hear me? All good? Let me check. Yes, all good. So we can see the Jira is running. If you encounter issues, start and stop me, please see troubleshooting. We just look the logs and understanding. Checking the GDK 19, Arch, Catalina base, Catalina home. And we can see Catalina. What is with the Catalina? We know the Tomcat, Apache Tomcat, based on the Catalina. Catalina is an old name of the Apache Tomcat. If we look Apache Tomcat, called Tomcat, before it was the Jakarta open source implementation Jakarta servlet. It was Jira Enterprise Edition with servlet container with Catalina and Coyote HTTP connector and Jasper. And after that, Catalina is Tomcat servlet container, and which why every time is mentioning about the Tomcat. And Coyote is HTTP connector, Jasper is a pages, and everything is providing all stuff we can read. Why I recommend to Googling and reading the history? Because once you read the history, you will fully understand why the naming is like this, why it works like this, and our stuff. For now, it's a quite easy to understanding. It's a Tomcat E, before it was, and Jakarta servlet implementation is open source and shown everything. Okay, let me move back. Now we understanding Coyote Catalina is running. Is like a Apache HPTD or Apache web server. The name like Nginx. It's running. Okay, Jira's application in that setup, and we can see they validating the log. Jira starting, and Jira is starting. Meanwhile, what we can do, if you remember, I created the persistent volume. We can go here, check. Now we can see it's home directory. dbconfig xml, docker app pid. We can see it is docker app is working under 7 pid and cache is created, and we can see everything as a Atlassian works. Keys and everything. Okay. Now we can see we run the starting to running the Jira Service Management 10.4, 17 releases, maximum and ID, and 2 gigabytes. Metaspace is running. It's a garbage collector. J1 GC, as I see, is used. Okay, and we can see Jira Java is starting. Hotspot and a lot of secret. We can see the application a bit changed and starting. Okay. Now, if we go to in Docker desktop, we can find in the containers we have the run container, which is run. And if we click here, localhost 8080, we have the setup database for Jira. Okay. We have the option Postgres, MySQL, Oracle, SQL Server, or Aurora. Let's keep it as is. We need to have the Postgres, for example. What we need to do? We need to do the following item. Again, open supported Let me close. Let me copy some of the. Let me open the Jira application again. I forgot the what version of, for example, Postgre we needed. We needed Postgre 15. Let's go to the OpenCat. It's an open API. ChatGPT. If you can see GPT 4.0, it's a free, as I remember. I want to install for Jira on Docker desktop. Please help. They provide Docker pull Postgres 15. Okay, before going forward, let me open the, if you remember, hubdocker.com. If we go Postgres, we can see Postgres is a official Docker images. And we can find all needful releases, but we need to 15. And to me, is also not big problem. Let me copy instruction from the ChatGPT. Open into a terminal and running. It's downloading. You can see it's many of the layers located. Now we have the Postgres. If we go to images, you can find our bookworm Debian-based Slim image. Click here, you can find all needful Docker entry, update, update, 15, Python D, all needful volumes. So what do we have? For now, I will not follow the existing recommendation by ChatGPT, but he's absolutely correctly recommending to about the Docker network isolate. I highly recommend to do it like this, but in this session we will skip it because we are for now we are trying to provide only one setup, and then next time I will show how to improve it. Isolate network, everything. Why I'm just saying before going forward, do we have the people who is mastering the Kubernetes, everything? Please just raise your hands. I want to check. Who knows the Kubernetes? Only one person, as I see. He's a bit shy, but it's okay. How about Docker? Do you use daily basis? Only 1+1. Okay, it means for isolating, for everything, we will reduce it for now. So Next step is open the iTerm. If you remember, I have the directed JSM, PGSQL, PGSQL. Let me create the directory, PGSQL, PVD, and go where? Docker desktop 503 2 5432. It is needed just let me do like copy. I forgot the location. Where is the located? This one. Run optional. We're exposing as is the ports. Go to the terminal and PGSQL, and I prefer to use the every time the volumes because it's better to have the states. And PGSQL. Let's run. And you may also use Postgre host of trust to all connections without password. This is not recommended, but for now it's good enough, I think. Go to container. Beans, yes, we have. State we have, and we go there. Two, boom. Postgres pass Postgres, and oops. PGSQL, and also what we need to do, it is Postgres user. Let me put for now Jira and Postgres DB. Let me open the Jira DB and let's put in Jira password, Jira user, and Jira DB. And ports we have, and network we don't need it. And good enough, all parameters are there. Run. Now we can see how initializing Postgres and creating and log start. We can start the database, creating database, initializing, done, providing database is ready to accept. Okay, how to check? If we go to the directory PGSQL in the host system, we can find already created all needful files and directories, which is great. Also, we can find in pg_hbaf.conf. We can find host all, and we've hashed connection. For now, it's good enough to running. And what we need to do, telnet. Let's do like this. We have connection. So next step, starting to go where? Postgres, host name. Let me start like this for now. And database Jira DB, user Jira user, Jira password, schema public, test connection. Connection refuse 5432. How we can connect? We need to have the connectivity. If config, we can find. Oops, it's my init configuration. IPA. Quite a lot of configurations, but we can go from the network device. This one, broadcast this one, and where is my IP? I don't see it. Now let me test. Now we have the connection successful. Connection works from my external local IP. It is my home IP address, and just connecting. Test again. All good. I'm just clicking because I exported the IP address as is. For now, it's good enough because I'm using mostly the DHCP is the most static to me, and it's good enough to go forward. But in the future, it's better we will create the Docker network, isolated network between Jira and database, and create everything, and then you will have the direct connection. Now is the setting up the database. We're just waiting. Also, once it is setting up the database, let me explain more images. As we started, we stopped under Crucible, Bitbucket, because I don't want to just wasting your time, and just let me explain, and it's our stuff. Jira Core, it is installing absolutely the same thing. Just use the tag, use the naming, and we can set up. Jira Software, also installing Bitbucket Mesh. It's interesting. What is this Bitbucket Mesh? This is the already prepared Bitbucket Mesh option, scalable extension for Bitbucket. Providing the setup. Now we can see mesh up, extra data, and we have the NFS for everything connected, and we have the mesh up, local storage, and it is connecting. Clear. and crowd, artifactory, sidekick, pipelines, hello world just showing, Oipus, escalator, optimize horizontal autoscaler for Kubernetes, Kubernetes not for our today, and Delta, client side, Confluence server, so all releases, and Bitbucket server, Bamboo server. It is, if you remember, before it was the data center, and before it was the data center and server. Now we have only data center, just different revisions. Pipelines kubectl, AWS CLI pipelines, NFS server test. They are providing for experimenting. Deployment, OpsGenie, Edge encryption, Performa, Nucleus, DynamoDB, Performa, Postgres, Jira performance test. If you're interested in performance test, you can use it, but it's long time ago it works. For now, it's better to use it in the Slack group. In Slack group, we can find everything. Server client plugins, pipeline metrics, DFS tools, SSH Ubuntu, Maven, Stash, and almost the last one, agent setup HKey, agent setup JIT, ecosystem, documentation, Stash, and Ubuntu menu. And with it, this is the all repo. It means main all our stuff. Meanwhile, we can see our Jira is almost set up. Jira Africa talks application type. Let me make that in private. Base your local host for now. Or we can do like this. We have the license. For the license, you can use the development license. If you go to Google, Jira development license, time bomb. If we go here, time bomb licenses for testing server apps. You can find for 3 hours, for 60 seconds, for 10 seconds, for performance test. And for example, for marketplace, 3 hours good enough to me. Or you can create the click generate trial license. It will log into your community account. Community account will be redirected to id@atlassian.com. You can create Jira, and you can create Jira software. But in our situation, this is Jira service management, and it's, I don't know why it's happening. And we can find the key. We need to copy the previous key, and we can do it. This one, let's copy it and paste it. But for now, for testing purposes, good enough 3 hour license. Next. They don't want to provide. Okay. If we click generate, Jira service management, test Africa talks, for example, up and running. I put the server ID, generate. Now we can copy, go back. We can configure the license. Just waiting. what will be interesting for you. Let me paste it. You can find in future. Still waiting the configuration of the license. So Jira, after that we will have the Jira Data Center with one node with license Jira Data Center trial. Then we need to add additional nodes and also improve the NFS. After that, we need to have the isolated network for databases. And after that, we have the good setup for improvement. For now, for testing purpose, for development, I highly recommend starting from easiest one. Let me start for creating account. Use like this account. Let me do this one. Go and check. Not needed. Later configuration, because you need to connect a mail server. For mail server, you need to have the all needful information from your mail administrator or system administrator, or you can connect to Google if you have the Google and Google configuration stuff. English. Continue. You can choose avatar. And let me create new project. Customer service. Create sample data. Service management. Create ITSM. Submit. And service request with approvals, incident change management, problem, and task and subtask. It's providing all ITSM setup. Now we created service, project, we can work. Also, you can see here the common request type, how it should be login and accounts, how does work computers, applications, service infrastructure, incidents, and change management, and also SLAs, everything, change management. You can use the calendars, start date, end date, assets. For the assets, it's here we can create the assets, but that one is a fun. I think for the next time. But for now, let me show what we did it in 1 hour. In 1 hour, let me summarize. In 1 hour, we setting up Postgres on the Docker as well, and also Jira Service Management, Jira Data Center with one node, but we will extend it. And also we will add all needful information. This is how it works without, for now, the tuning. Because for under tuning it with Java memory we can extend, but it is very good start for development purpose, for investigation, for everything. And also let me check in one feature. We can use the theme or matching the system, which is great. And accessibility, we can check how to underline links, pattern more easily, increase text spacing. It is no background subtitles. It is the new features of the Jira Service Manager, Jira Core correctly. Service project you can find And in assets, I will show the next time everything. For the summarizing, I use the ChatGPT especially because I highly recommend to use it. But of course, I can use it some of the article, but ChatGPT can provide you absolutely the same thing and all stuff. And also use the software Docker Desktop. Here the images like ISO files, image. And based on that, we are running the containers. We can run the additional container and merging all of them. And also we can see we have the JSM, and I forgot to name in the PGSQL, but anyway, Lucid Rich, it is our PGSQL, which is export 543 ports, TCP ports. I used, unfortunately, volume divided variables, but it is possible to using by the GUI. And this is the whole thing. At the moment, investigation how does it works. Docker Scout, what exactly is incorrect, correct, and all our stuff. That's it for today. Thank you. In 1 minute, it will be 1 hour.
Thank you so much, Gonchik. Any question for Gonchik, for those who are following the installation? It did work. So we have one question here. The other one? Yes, you can proceed and come and ask.
Use these dots. You can go to the You can use this.
Uh-huh.
Hi. So I have
Hi.
two questions.
Uh-huh.
So I wanted to know what are the best specs for a server to run this service management application?
Best what
And
would
then
you say?
server specs to run that application that we just run locally.
Service specs?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So question 2 is can I integrate other tools like those for monitoring and logging like Grafana to the dashboards?
Of course.
Yeah.
So let me explain step by step. First one, the server specs. For server specs, for now, I use it for personal test environment. I use it minimal, 2 gigabytes of RAM and everything. But for production, let me be more clear. I'm just opened Jira large installation. If you run, you can find Jira sizing guide. In the Jira sizing guide, you can, for example, if you have in production setup, you need to determine the number of users, active users. It means the concurrent with the connecting, number of issues, or possible, let's say, forecasting of the incremental and custom fields, permission schemes, and all needful the, let's say, the parameters. Based on that, you can understand the scaling. And after that, you will understand what type of the specification will be good for you, the hardware, which is CPU, memory, and after that, the next step you need to the tuning. And let me send that link. Will be helpful for you. And based on that, you can of course you can see the all recommendation of by the Atlassian Java version, disk space, memory, how that exactly helping. What else? Please keep in mind what exactly for the production step, because why I'm just saying for production step, but for production step, I like it, production. And on production, I prefer to use the low number of the, let's say, abstractions. For example, if you use the hardware, of course, if you set up on the hardware, it will be awesome. If you have the hardware and then a virtualization, on the virtualization, let's say VMware, I don't know, you have the OpenStack, it's all good. Or you have the Kubernetes and also overhead, but you need to think about that. But it's a nothing small recommendation. But in this situation, you need to start to monitoring. For the monitoring, what highly I recommend you. For example, we have our existing setup, our local host. For example, we have the for Grafana. What exactly you need? You need to Prometheus data. And then you can export. For example, you can find the Prometheus exporter for Pro Jira. It's a paid. Or you can go there. Then GX monitoring. Boom, 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 boom. Monitoring. You can find enable app monitoring, Gmix monitoring. Based on that, you can use the additional things. Also, don't forget about the easiest good things, node exporters. And once you use the node exporter from your server and plus Gmix connected, you can transport your data to Prometheus. Based on the Prometheus, you can draw the graphs based on the Grafana. This is the answer for your second question. For example, if you have the Linux server, you can follow that instruction, and you will have the all monitoring setup. But it is the mostly for production. For local things, also you can do it, and it is possible. I hope I have answered for your questions. If you need detailed information, please help me.
Yeah, it's good. Any other question? Yes.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
My name is Vincent.
Yeah.
I just have one question. How do we back up and restore Jira Data Center when using Docker?
For using the Docker, if you remember, I showed how I mounted two directives. One directive was the home, which is already you need to let me show. You need to backing up. For example, if you remember, I especially created two directories. JSM, if you remember, I created it is the home directory, which is need to be backing up. You can rsync within directory or making the snapshot and our stuff. But mostly, please be aware it is a home directory. And next one, PG SQL. This is the files, which is for Postgres. You have the different opportunity to backing up. Postgres have backup strategy. Let me try drop like this. And ChatGPT. But before ChatGPT, I want to show it for you. Backup PostgreSQL. On the application level, in reality, you have based on the write ahead log, wall based and master slave setup you need to make, and after that is using and also making the PG dump to making provide me a solution. But before you need to think about RPO and RTO, recovery objective, recovery time objectives. And I have before the answer, but recovery point objectives, recovery time objectives, how much we spent, we lost the data, for example, and during the backup, or recovery time objective. For the backup objective of PostgreSQL and Docker, you can see PG dump we can do, also persistent volume, which is already I just shown you, and also continuous archiving, write ahead clock. I just mentioned about it, and physical backup, PG-based backup, it also a very good opportunity, and you can choose it based on that. And everyone, you can do everything, or you can choose some of them. It will help for you, and also if you put Docker exec in the license directory, you can make it. Also, the monitoring, you can see Prometheus, Nigers, and everything you can put it. That's it.
Okay, so is it the same procedure when there is
Without Docker.
when
Yes.
there's upgrades in Jira?
For upgrading the Jira, better to make the PG dump and not needed to super copy the home directory, because in home directory usually not fully the changing, but mostly the focusing the I would like to say the making the index snapshot and copy them dbxml or something like that. But this is the main thing. That's it.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Any more questions? All right. Seems like there are no more questions. Give it up for Gonchi for such a nice presentation.
And if you're interested, next time I can show the with isolated networks and other stuff, because I want to step by step, or we can focus on the assets and our stuff. But Michael, feel free to, if you want to ask. All good. Thank you.
Thank you
Based
so
on
much.
that, I have to. Good. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.